Hey, it's Hex from the Overwatch League. This is In My Sights. Today we're going to take a look at flex support for the Shanghai Dragons. Luffy? I've heard it both ways. We're going Luffy today. I believe it is his first game playing this year. The Shanghai Dragons have been starting Izayaki, but this is an interesting composition to be running Ana on. He had a great series. This isn't going to be super flashy. In fact, I believe Luffy has 10 deaths in this map. It leads his team, but that's just going to happen based on the composition they're playing. As Ana, you're going to be alone a lot of the time, but your job is to stay on tank duty because the Mercy is going to be in the sky, healing the far most of the time. You also want to prioritize the Mercy because Mercy can heal everybody else and get resurrections in, a very important part of this composition. And like I said, you're going to be playing alone a lot of the time, so defend yourself at all costs. Early on here, just on tank duty, pumping in the healing as he can. His tanks do a great job this entire map of staying in sightlines. Try to take leave here, but watch this coordination. The nade's gonna come in blind, fearless, right there on the spot, and leave us out of the fight. They also hit a nice sleep dart here. He hits several nice sleep darts, so those are to be expected. Gives his team a great advantage. The primary DPS now out of it for the Hunters. Jinmu will fall second. Now it's a 6v4 essentially. Just gonna roll in here. Prioritize the Mercy. The Matrix comes up. He can't hit the last shot. This is the last place you want to be, and that is the last person you want to see. D.Va is the bane of Ana's existence in this composition, just the Matrix and everything. But what you'll see throughout this match is Luffy does a great job of when he knows he's dead, he just hits every cooldown he has. Gives his team a fighting chance, the anti-heal, the heal on his team. A lot of these biotic nades are going to go towards the feet, so you get healing and damage on the other team. This is just easy cleanup. You might want to throw in a long distance nade there, but his team already had it. And now, this is where you realize you are truly alone. 1 is the loneliest number, and that's going to be you pushing the cart. Gonna stay in front here, small stuff, just trying to find the angle at the top while his team pushes forward. Nano is ready if they need it. You can combo Nano with the EMP and Barrage. Throwing 3 ults into a fight isn't ideal. You see his tanks, and everyone does a good job of staying in sightlines. If they're out of your sightlines, they can't heal you. So the EMP goes in. But I believe Ding got hacked there. Still gonna get a couple of kills. Tries to save Fearless here. Not gonna happen, but he does hit the anti on Leave, which makes sure that Leave backs out, and they're just gonna res this one right back up. Goes for the dart there. A miss. You're not gonna hit every single dart. They're able to pick off Leave there, because I don't think he had recall back up since the recall was forced. A blind nade to where the pack is in case someone's trying to heal up. Rest of his team, full on cleanup. Tries to hit this blind shot onto the Sombra to decloaker. Not going to happen. And they're in a great spot here. But Luffy's going to take this far angle. Avoids the EMP. It is one of the benefits of staying so far away from your team. He gets the nano boost off. Getting harassed by this Tracer. And this is where it's just somewhat inevitable sometimes. You're gonna die when you're alone. In this composition, Ana, you're gonna die. And like I said, you're gonna die 10 times. Elsa's right there. D.Va onto an Ana. Seems unfair. I'm just gonna reset it here. A long, lonely walk back from spawn. Now the Dragons don't really have much to work with, but another EMP barrage is gonna come up. So they've got time. They want to set up properly. I'm gonna poke out this Sombra. We'll check on the angle there. And now it's time to take high ground. Cue elevator music. So they've got the high ground in really good position here, and there's really going to be almost no one to deny him. The Hunters have dive tanks, but Luffy's going to shut it down with sleep darts almost every time. Great timing there to make sure the shield cracks. A sleep dart on Amon is going to get abused this entire game. It's so tough to play Monkey against Ana. His own Monkey comes up, gets all the healing. And they're really prioritizing trying to take them off of this high ground, but for the most part, the tanks are doing a great job of leapfrogging up and down, back and forth, getting all the heals that they need. Now with Elsa out of the fight, no one's going to be able to really contest up here. Amon tries it. Doesn't work. Goodbye, Amon. All the healing up here. Nano Boost comes in onto Ting right before he gets EMP'd. They get the barrage. I mean, he just does so much with this Nano. He's going to get a couple fadeaway Nano Boosts as well when he's just about to die. In this composition, you will die as Ana, but getting all the value out of each life, bleeding it towards the edge, is really important. It'll happen a few more times. As Ana in this composition, you just have to accept the inevitable, that you're alone on the carts, and you're most likely going to have to defend yourself. You can't get tilted from some of these deaths because they're just going to happen. Another dart. Another sleeping Amon. I'm trying to hit some shots here, keeping everybody healthy. Allows the resurrection onto Ding. This is a nice little hiding spot here. There's nowhere else to hide. Yeah, I mean, either that's going to come around the corner and hit you, or it's not, but give yourself the best chance of at least trying to hide from some angles there. You're so wide out in the open. Good damage in here. Forces out a sound barrier. Goes for the blind dart. Not going to hit it. I like that he's nading packs a lot of the time. You saw it on first point as well. If the team wants to go try to heal up and they get hit right before there, then they're just exposed and they're not getting any healing. This is just a cluster. Great time to use an anti-heal when everything around you. Just look at your feet, pray, throw down the Bionade and heal yourself up. Do some damage to the enemy. What's interesting about Luffy, what's great about Luffy, is that he ends up hitting clutch darts when it really matters on these final points. Gets the nano off there, he thinks that he is dead, so he's just going to use all of his cooldowns. He's stuck. That's fine. That's gonna happen. That is just accepting your fate. But he uses all of his abilities first off. Now he's gonna get resurrected. He's gonna have another sleep dart up. Big old target in a D.Va there to just put in a ton of damage. Anti-healed. Now he knows the doorway's coming. Dart. Amon, take another nap. Gonna get him in trouble. Clean up the cart. And even with this primal, it's a 6v1. This is not gonna do much. 1000 HP burns away rather quickly. The Dragons will take it. Only a few deaths there from Luffy. Played it really well, defended himself as best he could. Really, you only saw him die when the D.Va dove on him and got himself in a little bit of rough position. But even in those deaths, he's taking it to the bleeding edge, getting value out of his abilities. If you're gonna die, die with your cooldowns used. So great job there by Luffy. He had an amazing set. If you want more Luffy, just rewatch the entire series. I just kind of picked this map because it's the decider map, but he played really well throughout, especially for a guy who's been riding the pine most of the year to come in. And you have to wonder if they bring in Luffy just because he's more comfortable playing this style of Ana, where you're going to be alone. It's not the GOAT style Ana where you're just chasing tanks and healing your team. You have to be able to defend yourself and hit sleep darts and be able to kind of play solo a lot of the times. This composition, he's alone a great deal. His team does a good job of trying to peel for him when he's really in trouble, but for the most part, you gotta rely on yourself, and Luffy's mechanics are really, really strong. Barely misses shots, always getting value, hitting some nutty darts here. Cue elevator music. Perfect spot to be as the Ana on this map. The Hunters didn't really run any long-range damage last time, so he's really just going to be worried about getting jumped on by tanks. Maybe a cheeky Lucio play. But you're in a perfect spot here. Everybody's going to be playing angles. Look, you can see absolutely everybody. You can see the attacking enemy. There's really nothing to worry about up here. Just chilling. Just get him a lounge chair. That one goes in. Try for the blind nade. Supplementing the mercy healing, but always going back to the tanks. His tanks are going to come to him for healing. What are you doing, Lucio? What are you doing, Lucio? Sleeping is what you're doing, Lucio. And watch his team just collapse on this. Gets dunked on by Ding. But he sleeps him and just goes back to doing his job. There's nothing else for him to be doing right there. He's got a fair and mercy. They're just gonna dunk on the Lucio. Beautiful dart there. Shuts down that push. Going for blind nades, knowing his cooldowns. By the time he needs another nade, it should be back up. Trying to get a little extra percentage. Maybe an anti-heal and a damage boosted rocket, just get a really free entry kill. tries to help out here, misses that jump, and this is just what happens sometimes as a support. You get yourself out of the position you really wanted because you're trying to help your teammates, but look at the value he's getting. Feels that he's near death, but just gets a ton of value. Another sleep onto Elsa. Elsa's gone and out of it. But the only time he was ever in danger is trying to save his Sombra, and gets himself out of it. Thought he was near death, so spamming cooldowns. Now just take the chill elevator right back on up. Prioritize that Mercy, top her off. This composition is very difficult to play against because you can't really EMP a ton of people. Jinmu's trying to get value out of it. It's not really working. Leave has stayed on this Tracer for a long time. And I kind of would have liked to see Leave go back to the Asher. At least put some pressure on this Ana. Ding just dunks on Leave immediately. Cast her curse even in the body review. Another sleep on Amon. Doesn't even look at it. Cool guys don't look at explosions or sleep darts. Rest of his team comes up and cleans up the sleep dart. Good healing here. 90 seconds left. They're gonna stagger out this D.Va as well. Just chilling on the Ana platform. Not a worry in the world. The only time he'll leave is to try to save his teammates. And, you know, maybe sometimes that's not even the right choice. But give Luffy the benefit of the doubt, though. Just a nice little poke there. This team does a great job of always coming back to him. Now it's just overwhelming. There's just too much going on. Jinmu gets in on the left side. That's where you saw Luffy's attention first. He does get the nano boost out at the last second. He gets it on Lee Jae-gon, actually. I'm trying to get a resurrection in. Desperation, he just rests as Lee Jae-gon gets absolutely crunched. Now it's time to spam cooldowns and try to give your team a fighting chance. If Fearless does get a couple here, this one doesn't seem quite over just yet. And the Dragons are going to have some re-engagement ultimates. Fearless is going to go down. We talk about DPS looking for angles too, but this is a nice angle for your healers. I mean, he knows Void's there, but he's just going to keep spamming through here. It's the only angle he has to get it all the way to the point. Barrage is going to get one. And this desperation, but it's close enough to try to stay in it. All the healing in the world's not going to save Void here. Trying to get it another sleep, and yeah, gonna happen. They give it the old college try there on the recontest. Doesn't happen. Misses the dart. I think it's the only dart he misses on Amon all game. Eventually, the Hunters will push through, get 220 on their clock. A long, lonely walk back. His team always falling back for heals. Mercy's not in it yet, so he's just healing up the Pharah. He doesn't know necessarily if Lip is being chased and that nade is necessary. Sometimes it just be like that. He gets stuck, but he hits the bio nade at the very end. Again, not dying with resources, trying to give Fearless a fighting chance there. Fearless was nearing a primal, so that would have been nice to get it there, perhaps some more stall. And now they're in a tough spot of just trying to get out here. It actually ends up being somewhat humorous, but they've got some time. They don't have to go in right now. So the Hunters are just in the ace spot, covering the doorways. Coalescence is going to come in. Just back out. Just back out. They got plenty of time. Notice that the cart was being contested during that. It's because Fearless is out there. He will die. He had Primal, but they still have a lot of time to be able to get back and recontest, so he didn't pop Primal there. Trying to go left side, finally. Goes for the blind dart on a Tracer. Doesn't quite get it. Gets the nano boost down, though, again. Going for the nade, where he sees a lot of action, both enemies and friendlies. He's gonna keep his Mercy alive. How about another sleep dart? Goes right on Amon, gets him there. Well, sleep dart didn't quite do it. How about a nade? Keeps himself healed. Gives his team a fighting chance. Dies with his abilities on cooldowns. He's gonna get rezzed here. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. And dead again. A little rough sequence there. The Dragons had a hard time getting out into that fight, but they did a really good job of stalling out the cart. Now, it's just a rough spot here. Your team's getting beat up. You're walking alone. You have no mobility. All you see is the enemy team. Hits a nade. Doesn't matter. It's just going to happen. You have to accept your fate as the Ana here. So they're getting rolled over, but there's only 90 seconds left. They're going to have Barrage, so his team needs to play somewhat passive right now, knowing that they completed, they're in a really good position, and they're going to have a lot of ultimates coming up. And as you saw on the offense, Luffy's going to do his best work at final point. Fearless goes down early, but I believe that's his first killing blow. He only got 2 killing blows the entire match. But I believe 21 assists, so Luffy doing his job for sure. Now he's used all the cooldowns, so he has to be a little bit careful. Now he's going to move closer to his team because he can't just duel this Sombra. I think he saw Sombra get the pack there too, so knows that she's still hanging around. Backs up with his team. Everybody's in good fighting form, and again, only 30 seconds here. Gets up to Nano. His team's in a great spot here, so he doesn't even have to use Nano. Whenever it's chaos, whenever it's a cluster, just drop that nade. Everyone's healed, everyone's antied. Beautiful stuff. 10 seconds left. His team's in a really decent spot. Nano, Valkyrie, everything's ready to go. Self-Destruct's gonna zone them out. A Nano onto Fearless, actually. Keeps everyone up. With a nade. And that's gonna be Amon going down. Amon just got absolutely abused by sleep darts this game. Gets as much damage as he can into Elsa. Now he doesn't have to worry about his biggest threat. And how about one more for good measure by Leaf. And Leaf is close to getting Pulse Bomb, perhaps making a play. Gets completely shut down. A couple of sick darts at the end from Luffy. The Shanghai Dragons win. It's a really interesting composition to have to play Ana in. You're going to die, but don't die without using your abilities to give your team a fighting chance. He kept his tanks alive. The Mercy barely died, and he was able to defend himself very nicely with sleep darts and antis. A great set overall, a great map from Luffy.